Hello, welcome to our VNA broadcast daily, and following are today's headlines.
Top Vietnamese-German legislators hold talks. Đồng Tháp province ranks first in Vietnam Provincial Competitiveness Index 2012. Mỹ Sơn community-based tourism village opens in Quảng Nam province.
President Trung Tân Sang has said Vietnam hopes United States businesses will continue to cooperate with their Vietnamese counterparts to further boost trade ties between the two countries. Sang made the remark at the reception for Alexander Feldman, President of the United States Vietnam Business Council in Hanoi on March 13.
Sang said Vietnam pays special attention to trade ties with the U.S. and the country will create favorable conditions for U.S. enterprises to do business in Vietnam. If U.S. projects fall behind schedule, the two sides need to strengthen exchanges to solve the problems, the state leader told Feldman, who is heading a delegation of leading U.S. firms on a visit to Vietnam. Feldman said U.S. firms will increase trade promotion activities in Vietnam in the areas of machine and equipment supply. He expressed his wish the host country will create conditions for investors to reap successes, and the two sides will coordinate with each other to solve any pending issues and drive the implementation of ongoing projects. The U.S. official moved on to discuss the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, affirming that his side is willing to cooperate with Vietnam to finalize the negotiations.
National Assembly Chairman Nguyễn Sinh Hùng held talks with his German counterpart Norbert Lammert on March 13th. Hùng said Vietnam cherishes and prioritizes the development of cooperation with the European country.
Hùng thanked the German legislature for supporting the government in providing official development assistance for Vietnam. The two sides need to actively liaise together, share experience in legislation and supervision, Hùng said. He added that they should review the implementation of agreements signed between the two countries' governments, ministries and departments. Lammert affirmed that the German parliament always supports the development of ties with Vietnam, contributing to new achievements in the bilateral strategic partnership in the future. The host legislator proposed the two legislatures maintain the exchange of high-level delegations, further expand cooperation among friendship parliamentarian groups, National Assembly agencies and localities. While in Germany, Chairman Hùng witnessed the signing of the agreements on designing, building and operating the German House in Ho Chi Minh City and on exempting diplomatic passport holders from visa. Earlier, Hùng met with representatives of the Vietnamese community in Germany. He said the state will review and amend regulations to create more favorable conditions for overseas Vietnamese communities worldwide. Community representatives asked for practical assistance from the state to support the teaching of Vietnamese language for second and third generation children in Germany.
Deputy Defense Minister Nguyễn Chí Vịnh has called on ASEAN member nations and Japan to enhance links to ensure maritime security and comply with international law.
Vịnh made the appeal while attending the 4th Deputy Ministerial Level ASEAN-Japan Defense Cooperation Conference in Tokyo on March 13th. Vịnh said countries should adopt a proper awareness of regional security, especially the interpretation and application of the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. They should standardize behavior to international law in an open and transparent manner. Participants at the event heralded Vietnam's role and contributions to regional defense and security cooperation over the past term. The Brunei delegation, chair of ASEAN for 2013, expressed its hope to learn from Vietnam's experience in hosting ASEAN security conferences.
The southern province of Đồng Tháp ranked number 1 in the Vietnam Provincial Competitiveness Index 2012. The report was released in Hanoi on March 14.
The Vietnam Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the U.S. Agency International Development Project, the Vietnam Competitiveness Initiative reported the southern province of An Giang moved up to the second position from the 19th spot in 2011, and the northern province of Điện Biên dropped to the bottom of the ranking from the 29th position in 2011. The report provided critical information on 63 provinces' business climate for policymakers and investors, fostering change and reform towards a public and equal business environment. Enterprises surveyed in the report were pessimistic about business prospects. Only 33% plan to expand their business operations in the next 2 years. Provincial Competitiveness Index 2012 shows the efforts of several cities and provinces to improve their economic governance in administrative reform to narrow the development gap between them and last year's high-ranking provinces. Measuring economic governance and the business environment across the country's provinces and cities, the 2012 Provincial Competitiveness Index is the 8th annual report surveying over 8,000 domestic enterprises and 1,500 foreign invested firms.
More than 100 Vietnamese and Japanese businesses attended a seminar on Vietnam's market in Ho Chi Minh City on March 13.
The seminar is a chance for the two countries' businesses to share experience and information in trade and investment. In recent years, Vietnam-Japan relations have seen outstanding developments in various fields. In 2012, two-way trade reached more than $25 billion, and Japan maintained its position as Vietnam's third-largest trading partner. By the end of 2012, Japan had become the biggest foreign investor in Vietnam, with more than 1,800 valid projects, with a combined registered capital of $29 billion. More and more Japanese tourists have chosen to holiday in Vietnam and Ho Chi Minh City in particular. Despite falling global official development assistance from Japan, assistance to Vietnam has increased.
A workshop took place in Da Nang City on March 13 as part of the Municipal Partners for Economic Development program. The event was co-hosted by the Association of Cities of Vietnam and the Federation of Canadian Municipalities.
One of the main purposes of Municipal Partners for Economic Development program is to support gender equality by creating support services for business women to help them overcome difficulties in training, obtaining capital, networking, and other risks. Local authorities from Vietnam and Cambodia, as well as beneficiaries of the program, participated in the event. Filipino and Thai organizations also attended to share experiences. The workshop focused on exchanging experiences, learning from the first phase in Vietnam and Cambodia, and proposing ideas for the program in Asia. It also creates opportunities for participants to compare the results and strategies of other project sites, therefore boosting local economic development.
A community-based tourism village opened in Duy Xuyên District, the central province of Quảng Nam, on March 14.
The My Sơn community-based tourism village is part of a tourism development program funded by the Luxembourg government. Tourists arriving at the village will live with local families and enjoy My Sơn specialties and songs and visit local landscapes. To ensure community-based tourism development, the International Labour Organization invested $15,000 to build toilet facilities in 5 family homes and equip them with other necessities.
And that is the end of our news today. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.